Welcome to Centered Presents The Future of Health. Join me, Christina Walecka, along with Dr. Molly Brown, as we dive deep into the world of brain-based wellness.
In each episode, we will explore cutting-edge insights and practical techniques that empower you to achieve optimal health and super high-energy living.
Tune in and start your journey toward a healthier, more vibrant you. We are so excited to be here on Therapy Plus today, speaking to mental health and the modalities we use in Molly's clinic, specifically QNRT, Neurofeedback, and BRT. And Molly, do you want to talk to us a little bit about your clinic?
Yeah, so I have a neurologically based natural medicine clinic in Sun Valley, Idaho, and we blend over 16 different modalities to achieve an accelerated result for chronic and complicated conditions, including autoimmune, pain, sports injury, and mental health, anxiety, depression, and trauma. But one is not really separate from the other. They all sort of go together. Once there's a sports injury or once there's autoimmune, it's always the mental health aspect of anxiety, depression, questioning yourself, and confidence. And this is what we'll talk about today, is how our individual modalities, but specifically highlighting QNRT, which stands for Quantum Neurological Reset Therapy, Neurofeedback, and most recently we've added in BRT, which is BioRegulation Therapy, to achieve an accelerated result for positive mental health and everything from anxiety, depression, and trauma to even more severe conditions.
Optimal health and high energy living, as we like to say. But we really focus on, again, you cannot heal from the neck down. And I know we're talking today about mental health, but often with mental health issues comes a lot of physical trauma, disabilities, just like not feeling good in your own body. Mm-hmm. And that's why we love the QNRT work, Quantum Neurological Reset Therapy. Molly, do you want to explain what it is?
Yeah, so we have specifically a brain-based wellness approach. And when I found the QNRT therapy, I was at a seminar. I was with practitioners in Minnesota who were learning Lyme. And someone came in at the end and introduced the Quantum Neurological Reset Therapy. And I never volunteer to be worked on in front of other people. It's not really my thing. But I volunteered. And the QNRT pinpointed my current and childhood emotional stress from a young age.
Which comes up as an confused stress. So when we do QNRT, we look at the body, the brain lobes, the tissues, and again, the priority stress is what comes up. Mm-hmm. And this is your body telling us this. So when Molly did the reset.
So when I volunteered for this reset, I didn't know what I was volunteering for. But it's a technique that tests through eye activation, the lobe of the brain and the stress tissue and the state of the adrenals and the nervous system. And the technique resets your nervous system to a particular stress in your life. And so after I experienced the reset, it's about a 20-minute reset. I felt that I had discovered a body of work that I would have looked my entire life to find. It was like it revealed an intelligence of a technique that reset my nervous system at a profound level. And I came back from that weekend seminar and I was working with a craniosacral therapist, and I just happened to have an appointment the next couple of days. And I'd been working with her for years, and I didn't tell her. I said I was at a seminar, and she said, your adrenals have completely changed overnight. And I said, oh my gosh, well, I found this amazing work, and I volunteered to have the reset done on me, and I feel significantly different. I immediately, after a QNRT reset, slept better, felt less stressed, felt less reactive, and also felt validated and heard.
Yeah.
The priority stress that it picked up on was something that I was actually truly struggling with. And that was all in a 20-minute technique using muscle testing to test which brain lobe, which tissue, and which underlying emotional stress was the priority, and resetting it.
Yeah, so that is, again, the priority stress picks up. We're looking at the brain lobes, the tissues, the nervous system, the adrenals. We figure all that out. We tell a story. We kind of reset that story to what you should be believing, what you truly believe, but your subconscious is holding you back from.
Limiting patterns.
And then by activating cranial nerves, that is the reset. So there's kind of two components. It's a quick process. But like Molly said, I would have looked my whole life for this, not just because I'm in the mental health space, and Molly, not just because she's a practitioner in the mental health space. We needed something to feel understood, to feel like we could move on from whatever it was we were suffering in that moment. And that to us was the aha moment of, oh my God, this is what the body needs. Every human needs this reset.
Right. So when in the mental health space, right, you can't work from strictly, red light therapy or pulse magnetic, although those might be helpful. You can't get IVs and have a change in your level of anxiety or the way you're looping your depression. People think they can, but that's not the key to it.
No.
So really you need to bring in a brain-based approach, which resets the nervous system. And the QNRT is the only thing I have found in my life that actually achieves it. It's like the work of Bruce Lipton or Joe Dispenza. It's what they talk about, but QNRT is what achieves the result. And like Bruce Lipton says, like 95% of your thoughts are run by your subconscious.
That's what's so crazy.
And so that's what the QNRT works at that level, where it picks up your limiting beliefs or your negative anxiety patterns through objective testing, and it resets your nervous system to those limiting beliefs, or we could call them core drivers. And gradually, as you work through the QNRT work and you balance your brain and your nervous system to different stresses throughout your life, it resets your nervous system to those underlying stresses where you can process the underlying subconscious beliefs that are running the way you interact in the world, that are running the way people are drawn to you by those subconscious beliefs and patterns. And it resets it, and you become a lighter and happier version where you can process. I feel the QNRT, sometimes I feel like one good reset can achieve the results of 20 years or more of therapy.
Yeah, I think that that's really important. Again, like you have these limiting beliefs from in the womb, from childhood, that you just like
family patterns
you're subconsciously living with.
Disappointments in your life.
Yeah. And I love that people do want help, so they seek it. They seek the cold plunge contrast therapy. They seek the IVs. They go to therapy.
People only want to feel better, right?
People only want to feel better, but they don't necessarily have the correct tools and resources. And you always go back to one of the great things. Again, people are really into like the ketamine and the tone venom treatments. And unfortunately, like even though this is dealing with the subconscious patterns, we're working with the conscious mind. The issue with those treatments is you're working with the subconscious mind. So then when you actually like go to live or you're not able to like really tap in or change your day-to-day functioning, change your day-to-day
and there's
thought process.
Major contraindication. I don't recommend either of those. The QNRT is the real deal.
It's the real deal.
It's what you're looking for. It's the help you want at a deeply spiritual, subconscious level, so that you can move forward with intelligence and consciousness, right? Like a lot of any drug-related treatment is going to take you away from your conscious. It's going to split you from your conscious. We're looking to make the subconscious and conscious interactions congruent, so that you can live a life that you want to live, right? And any drug-based experience will take you away from that. And it's not what I recommend, and it's not going to give you the result you want. But QNRT is a conscious process that resets your nervous system at the level of the hypothalamus, and it restores your innate intelligence and who you want to be. Right?
Yeah, it allows you to like be super present, live consciously, feel great, feel fulfilled, and move on from bad patterns that have been holding you back.
Exactly. And so a good story is how we met, right? So you've been a practicing therapist for years, and you've also struggled with anxiety and depression, correct? When you were a child, and you had tried living in Los Angeles, you had tried every alternative and Western medical treatment.
I tried everything.
Everything, yeah. And still, when you came into my clinic, you didn't feel good, correct?
I used to say like moments of glory, like little things would help or make me feel a little bit better, or I wouldn't even say temporarily, just make me feel like a little bit better, but nothing would help.
Nothing would help. And so when you came in, you were so adorable and so, so intentional, but yet you also had this kind of heavy feel of sadness, and you just didn't feel good. You really struggled with physiological and mental health issues still. And so we worked with the QNRT and neurofeedback, and you felt, well, you felt a shift, correct?
I said no matter the shift, which again, more and more resets I had a lot of trauma built up. I had a lot of underlying stresses. The very first reset I had, like you, I was like, I finally feel understood because I haven't been able to communicate or express what's going through my body, my brain for all these years. And for the first time, I feel like I've come to somebody who like is looking at the big picture. They're not trying to diagnose me. They're not trying to prescribe me. They're not giving me temporary solutions. I feel like I have a path to finally move forward and be able to live my life.
Yeah. And the progression that you have felt and seen has lasted. It's been sustainable.
And then we brought in the neurofeedback work, which is one of my favorite things because it trains the wavelengths in the brain. And I just remember doing an intensive, and the protocols we use, people go to neurofeedback and don't necessarily get the results they're looking for. And they do.
Without the QNRT, the neurofeedback, a lot of it's common for just someone who's using neurofeedback alone to say you may feel a result in 100 sessions. I don't know many people who have that perseverance, right? With the combination of neurofeedback and QNRT, we almost always see a result in less than 20 sessions. And not only a result, a significant, profound, life-changing result in mental health. It's usually under 10, to tell you the truth.
When I did this intensive, it was 1 week and I did 2 a day, 20-minute sessions. They're like taking a nap. You visual audio feedback machines. You're looking at a screen.
Training the brain.
Listening to white noise. Harmonics. And when your brain is functioning correctly, it's being rewarded. When it's malfunctioning, it's being punished, and the frequencies kind of go in and out. But I remember after this intensive, I woke up one morning and I just felt like a completely different person. And it was
relaxed,
the craziest, most amazing.
How did you feel?
Again, I had been living in such a state of anxiety. I didn't know what anything else felt like. And I just felt at peace.
You felt at peace.
Felt at peace. It was the best feeling in the...
And what was that intensive? What did we do? I don't remember. It was neurofeedback and QNRT?
Yeah. I mean, we brought in AMIT.
Yeah.
But it was just an intensive mainly to focus on the...
Mental health.
Yeah.
And you've only continued to blossom and thrive since that first intensive.
Yeah. I mean, again, we do maintenance. I prioritize my maintenance, but I think you can attest to this. I'm actually probably one of the chiller, least reactive people you know.
Most positive.
Most positive. For sure. But I've always been positive.
Yeah. And so despite a lifetime, I mean, you found in your late 20s, you found this work, and despite a lifetime of stress and anxiety and feeling like there was something wrong with you at all times, right? Yeah. Feeling like maybe you were even unfixable or you were always struggle, you are now blossoming in every aspect of your life. And it continues to get better and better. Is that correct?
Yeah. Like, again, you and I constantly work on each other, but these 2 core modalities, the neurofeedback and the QNRT, are the solution. And then now we've recently brought in the BRT machine, which if you want to speak to that.
The BRT I'm really excited about. So with the BRT, I was told that it would accelerate the result of the neurofeedback and QNRT even more. And I'm always looking to accelerate a mental health and an autoimmune result. And they go hand in hand, basically. We know from the ACE studies that early childhood trauma, 80% or more of people with, I think, 2 or 3 incidences of adverse childhood experiences end up with an autoimmune issue. And so the BRT is a BioRegulation Therapy that accelerates the results in measurable data with neurofeedback.
By providing communication through the cells.
Yeah, by providing coherent cellular communication, which even faster calms down your nervous system and allows your innate intelligence of the order of your body to emerge. And so it accelerates the result of a stressed nervous system. It brings that down and allows that if, for instance, if your immune system isn't functioning or kidneys aren't functioning, it looks at the overall picture, calms down the nervous system, lets the systems of your body start functioning. And then if you use the trifecta of the neurofeedback, the QNRT, and the BRT, it's amazing what we're seeing in our clinic with accelerated mental health results with all results, with every possible thing people can imagine. It's not like you have to work with mental health separately from the health of your body. It's all working together so that people are feeling good, they're feeling pain-free, they're feeling, no anxiety, no depression, the trauma resolves from early childhood experiences, and people are just learning to thrive in life and have that positive turnaround that both you and myself have experienced through the neurofeedback and QNRT. It's been life-changing for me. And because I come from that, I experienced that firsthand.
Yeah.
So did you. So you coming from a mental health space, you can speak, really expertly from what you see with the neurofeedback QNRT. You've sent a lot of people into the clinic.
Yeah. No, again, I think it's so important to be aware of all your options. And that's why we're so passionate about sharing what we do with the world. And we're so grateful for this platform because more and more people need to know. And again, whether it's mental health, whether it's autoimmune, whether it's pain, trauma, all longevity, and just feeling your best.
Thriving.
These are non-invasive, solution-focused, brain-based wellness approaches that we speak to because we've experienced them and have such great results.
We've done everything in the world. I feel that like you always say, the neurofeedback should be in every school, right? If we had neurofeedback and QNRT in every school and a whole network of practitioners to refer to, I feel that it would completely change the state of the mental health of not only the United States, but the world. And that's part of our mission. I feel that the neurofeedback, QNRT, even BRT combo changes mental health more rapidly and more efficiently than anything and more effectively, permanently than anything I've ever seen. And we are very passionate about bringing that combination to the world at large and to the mainstream.
And again, it's so safe and it's so easy and it's so efficient.
It's an accelerated result where people then can finish out, can achieve the result they're looking for, and go on and live their life in a positive way with their family members, with their friends, with their children, and contribute positively to the world. That's what the goal of therapy is.
Yeah, and I bring that into the QNRT sessions, especially with children. Because you need the tools. You need to be able to communicate your feelings. You need the safe space. We bring up things that you may need to want to talk about or work through a little bit. So the combination is really, really helpful in having the therapy background that I have. The QNRT, again, just accelerates the results. It makes therapy easy and more enjoyable.
The QNRT neurofeedback allow therapy to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this has been really exciting. We're really excited to share everything we've been doing.
Yeah, and the further resources are we can be found on this podcast platform.
Centered Presents the Future of Health.
Centered Presents the Future of Health. We can be found at drmollybrown.com. And our Instagram is at Dr. Molly Brown and at Christina_Walecka. And we are happy to share any resources or any network of practitioners for people to be able to find this work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Centered Presents the Future of Health. If you're interested in learning more, please visit us at drmollybrown.com or email us at media@drmollybrown.com.